Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about Washington State, maybe backstepping. But first, let's roll that title.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us today. Wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in Washington State, not DC, Washington State on the West Coast, real close to Patrick, but Patrick's
My
not
neighbor to the north.
He's just looking away. It's not staring at them directly. But
That's right.
Tesla has indicated that a new bill that is on the books, or it's not passed yet, but this new bill, SB 5377, it's amending the state's regulations on auto sales. And Tesla and also the Engage website have said that this new legislation, would restrict some of its direct-to-customer sales model, which allows customers to buy vehicles without going through a traditional franchise. So they believe that this could impact people buying Teslas and in the state, and even force some of them, if not all of them, to go out of state to complete the sale. Kind of like we hear what happened in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also even saying that it could also impact Tesla's ability to provide in-state service like warranty, support, and maintenance. So making it more difficult for people that own the vehicles to get them serviced in a timely manner. So this is it's kind of concerning. Certainly for the people in Washington, I would suggest if you haven't already, please join a local EV association. Get connected with those groups. And you can wield a much larger stick to your government if you can all talk in unison, and you have a group of you compared to a single person complaining about something. So it's a much better way to attack a problem like this when a rule or regulation may change, which would affect how you get your vehicle serviced or how you buy your next vehicle.
Yes, you mentioned Tesla is their Engage site. So if you are a Tesla owner fan, I would definitely make sure you sign up for that. And then if there's anything going on that impacts your region, the Engage site will let you know about that. And Tesla has recommended actions, like for this one. If you're in Washington, I'm sure that you've been notified if you're signed up for Engage, and they give you the link in this Engage site to send a message to your political leadership and let them know how you feel about this. I was just looking at the bill briefly before we went on air, and it seems like it was well intended in that it wants to have fairness amongst dealerships and how manufacturers deal with the dealerships. And I think that they just didn't consider how it would impact direct sales, because that's not the lens they were looking through. And so hopefully they can be responsive to this consumer feedback, because the bill says it's trying to protect consumer choice at dealerships. Well, if you end up eliminating direct sales, then you've hurt Tesla, Rivian, Lucid. I don't know who else is going to do direct sales, but that's not protecting consumer choice. That's eliminating choice. Exactly the opposite of what the bill's title says it's trying to achieve.
Yeah, and so the other thing that comes up with that is, gotta get it for you after this, baby. The other thing that comes up with this is that I've lost most of my train of thought there, but I do remember a time that our club was speaking to the candidates that were coming up to represent us. Mm-hmm. And one of them just said straight up, no, I understand. I respect you guys. I see you guys. But the dealerships in this town and this state have outsized influence. And it would be political career suicide to acknowledge you guys for what you want, because it goes against what they want. And I got to keep them happy. I appreciated the honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not like hearing that. So one thing to everyone's club, not just Tesla clubs, but any of your EV clubs or any of your associations that you have, start inviting your local rep, senator, etc., to the events. They're probably not going to post any of them, but invite them to all of them, so they start getting some FaceTime with you, and only get checks from the other guy, and then maybe you won't run into that same conversation that we ran into, because that.
Yeah, Seattle especially has a large EV community, and so there's going to be a lot of politicians who are going to, if this does interfere with Tesla's ability to do business, that's going to upset a lot of people who vote. So I think it's they care more about voters than they do anything else. That's how they get elected, right? So I think that they should pay attention to this block of voters.
And that's part of the other reasoning to bring them in, because not only are they getting FaceTime with you, but every time you're in, because there's not everybody that goes to every meeting. So they start to see, oh man, if I make these people cooked.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Casey brings up a great point, is that, this isn't just a Tesla issue. Obviously, Tesla's raising the alarm based on their legal team looking at this new proposed law or bill. But the real thing to be done here is you've got to engage the entire EV community. You have to be able to bring in, yes, Tesla has the vast majority of sales in the category. We understand that. But if you could double the amount of people that are voicing their opinions uniformly at something, that's a big difference. So yes, Tesla may have 50, 55, 60% of the market, but if you can get another 40% in volume to come on side, that certainly can raise some people's eyebrows. They can see that there's more people. And unfortunately, it does come down a lot of time to how many people are voicing their opinion. And if you have a small amount of people voicing their opinion, it's a lot easier to ignore it or to sweep it under the carpet. Or, as Casey said in a meeting, say, listen, you guys just aren't big enough to, at this point, it would be political suicide for me to take your side over the larger group of constituents that are pushing the other side. So it becomes a way that you have to get involved at the local level, and typically those local EV groups are connected to something that's statewide and even beyond that, sometimes regional, sometimes national. But being involved with those things allows you to get your opinion across with many other people, and hopefully will allow your voices to be heard clearer than if you're just one or two people that are complaining.
Yeah, and we were talking before the show about some things that nationally. Now, at the national level, this strategy doesn't necessarily work, but if you do bring in your state, provincial reps and senators and whatever else you might have up there in Parliament there, they may still have that same effect of, hey, I keep seeing these people every weekend, and if I go back and tell them that I got to do this, we're gonna have some problems when it comes time to pass around the hot dogs. So we not do this thing, and it will still have that same effect at a much lower level. But there's just a lot of stuff afoot with the anti-EV movement and fossil hobbies and rollbacks, and we're not going to slide this alone. We need allies on this, and we'll need to engage them.
Yeah, we need every EV owner to participate in this type of a discussion. I know many people didn't sign up to do that, but we're not over the
politician piece.
Excuse me, we're not over the oil problem yet. This is something that's growing. Yes, the ball is getting bigger. We're getting more and more people on board, but we can't just give up. We have to participate in order to get our voices heard.
I wrote an article on X about how the EVs are being taxed around the U.S. And I'm thinking I've got another article that's almost polished up about a way to get more representation acknowledged. I think now that after that one is finished and published, it might be time to do either a two-parter or just do a longer one about this, about engaging with your representation, bringing them into the club meets, and some of the items that are needing to be considered now. And again, I know you just wanted to buy a car, but if anywhere on your list aside from cool tech and safety was the environment, hey, I can hug a tree at number 10. Then maybe at a number 10 effort, you can just say a couple words to the person at the hot dog stand.
Yeah. And for those people that are out there, what's your experience been? Have you engaged with your local politicians? Have you talked to state politicians? What results have you seen? Have you been disappointed? Have you been pleased with results? Let us know in the comments as to what your experience is, and share it with the group, because I'm sure that people that haven't had some of this experience would like to read about what results others have gotten.
Are you a politician? I know you're out there. So this is an excellent way to score some points with your local community. Ask to be invited to the groups. Say, hey, I'm a politician and I'm an EV owner, so I won't be constantly trying to sell you on this. But occasionally, if you don't mind, I can raise my hand and tell you about this thing that's happening or this thing that we're deciding. Get your input on it, or at least let you know it's coming. There are some groups that actually do have politicians who own the cars that are in them and participate actively. We appreciate you, and so don't be afraid, don't be shy. They're not going to just mark you out of the room, like especially if you're thinking that these are all tree huggers and hair sweaters, and you come from a different political persuasion. They're not gonna tar and feather you if you just come at the right approach. They're human and they'll listen to you.
Well, with that, I think we'll wrap it. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on the video. Press that subscribe button. It helps us out immensely. We would really appreciate it. Casey, what do you got for shout-outs?
Okay, so on shoutouts, catch us here on Sunday at youtube.com/KCGreen. That's KACEYGREEN, or on the X platform at GCustom. And we'll do what's called Let's Chat with Casey and Friends. We had a little audio shakeup with our friend Brian this Sunday, and I'm wondering if I'll just use this platform, not the Tesla Life, but this software that we're using here for the next foreseeable future till I do something different with my equipment, because they've upgraded both, and this one is just more foolproof for me. So we'll be in this one then, and then again on Monday, catch us on the Tesla Life Express Edition 2, right here, same time, same place as this one, and then on Wednesday, catch us live for the Tesla Life Live show.
Very good, Patrick.
Well, I certainly hope this bill doesn't pass, but if it does, Tesla has a few workarounds working with First Nations peoples. So who knows? That might be what happens in Washington. I certainly hope not. But as always, I am with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. And like Mark said, it's still the future. We're not fossil fuel free yet, but we're getting there. There's a lot of money that they have right now. When you sell something the world is absolutely dependent on and addicted to, you can make a lot of cash.
Oh, yes, addicted to, because every mile you drive in your fossil car burns the same amount of electricity from the grid as an EV does.
Sure does.
Look it up.
Thanks so much, everyone. Talk to you later.